Special thanks to Robert Wayne Footwear and Doc Martin.
It's Power 106, DJ Reflex, the Takeover show, and extremely excited for this guest, man. Go ahead and please introduce yourself to Los Angeles one time.
What's up, LA, my beautiful hometown. This is Jhené, Aiko.
Yeah, and I'm so excited to have you up here. We have a ton of mutual friends, and it's funny because, you know, from what I know about you and what I've read about you, and I followed your music for a good year now, 2 years. It's been a long time coming. You've been working hard at this project, and I feel like you've with this album. Let's talk about this album, Sellout, because I feel like this is your moment to like really enjoy your career right now. This is the album to check out right here.
Yeah, Sellout EP is what I just put out.
Yeah.
7 songs that I feel like are, you know, really good introduction songs to the people that are just now getting familiar with me, and they're, you know, they're used to like the featured work that I've done. So yeah, it's just like, for me, it's just like the step one of what I'm, you know, well, really the mixtape that I put out a few years ago was like the foot in, and now I'm just giving more and more of myself with each project. So by the time the album comes around, it'll come full circle.
Sure. And with the features you have on this, I'm really impressed with the, you know, my friend Donald Childish Gambino, Vince Staples, let's see who else, Kendrick, of course. And how does those features kind of come out? Were all those your ideas, or do you have a team of people on the production side that kind of like when you're in the room, you're like, you know, this is the person that needs to be on this, or was this a lot of your idea?
Everything is my idea. No. Pretty much, you know, like with Kendrick and Ab, I've worked with them obviously before, and we always work together. So I knew that when I recorded those songs, I wanted features. So, you know, those are like the top 2 people that pop in my head. With Childish, I did the song and I had sent it to so many people for Bed Piece because I just knew that I wanted a feature. So I was like, oh, let me call up my friends that, you know, I did songs with them. You know, favor for a favor. But he was the only one that sent it straight back, and I had just met him like maybe the day before. And it was just perfect. I loved his verse. I had no complaints. And then Vince Staples, I had just met him also. He works closely with No ID. And I had just heard him rap too, and I was a fan. So
well, it feels like all the records, like it didn't feel like there was, you know, it felt, all of them felt extremely natural, and nothing was forced together. No collabos, like, oh, we have to get so and so for radio player. We got to get this for this look or whatever. All the features, I think, fit the music really well. So congratulations on that. It's Power 106, the Takeover show, and extremely excited. My special guest tonight, Jhené Aiko, is on the show. And we're playing records off her album, Sellout, her EP, that's out right now, because it's just a taste of an album that's forthcoming.
Yes.
Is that what's happening
2014.
Here? Okay, and you already begun that process, because I know you're doing shows right now.
Yes, the album is done.
Yeah, okay.
So just sitting in the cut waiting for the time.
Let's talk about, you know, your growth as an artist, because you've been doing music and making music and such, and just being an artist for years now. For those who think that you're just this new person that No ID signed, you know, in the last 6 months or something. Let's talk about the growth as an artist, like what, you know, life is evolved into for you. Like how much, like, you know, what have you learned from your experience in all these years in music?
It's been 12 years.
Yeah.
I'm 25. I started when I was 12. And obviously, you know, I just going through life, period, you know what I mean, just growing naturally. But because I was in the business so young, I got to see really what happens, you know what I mean, behind the scenes, and as an artist. And I don't know, I've always been the type to just sit back and observe and really try to understand things. So I think now I get it, I understand, you know, and I write all my own music now. When I was younger, I was just sort of like going with whatever they told me, and not really because I was being forced to. I was just, I was a kid, so I didn't really have a stand, you know, I didn't have like anything to stand.
A view.
Yeah, I hadn't formulated like my own opinions and stuff like that. But now, you know, I have a daughter. I've been through a few things that I feel like, you know, have changed me, helped me grow. So all of that is reflected.
And I think that, like, those life things, I mean, that's what I think defines you as an artist now. Like, I think all those emotions that you have to experience in life and stuff, you hear it in what you're making now. And I think that's inspiring to artists that are coming up as well, to see that, you know, this isn't an overnight thing. You put in your time, you worked hard and such, but maybe just the timing wasn't right in all those other situations. And then as life has led you here, now you got this amazing album, and it's really inspired by a lot of real life and stuff. You gave me a compliment off the air for pronouncing your name right.
Yes.
It's not the easiest of names, but it's easy actually.
It's easy. It looks hard.
Phonetically, it makes total sense. It's not that difficult.
Exactly.
Yeah. So congratulations again. This EP Sellout is available right now, and let's talk about on the production side. I mean, you crossed paths with No ID at some point in your career,
yes.
And how did that? Were you a fan of his prior to meeting him, or did someone make that introduction? How does that happen? Because he's obviously No ID,
right?
So how does that work?
Well, who isn't a fan of No ID? Yeah. You know what I mean? He's like a living legend.
Sure.
When I met with him, I thought it was about production. I didn't really know that he was, going to be talking to me about signing me to Def Jam, being his first artist on Def Jam. And so it was like through a mutual friend, someone that I've known and who's been in the music industry. Like, he just got in it, and he was always just looking out for me. Like, I'm working with this person now, blah, blah, blah. And so when I met with him, it just felt right, because I was sort of weary on like the whole label situation, but he, as an artist, as a producer, you know what I mean, he made me feel comfortable, and he's not one of those like suits, you know what I mean, that's I'm trying to just get rich off of you, because he's already rich, so he doesn't, he really shares the vision. And but for this EP, Fisticuffs, who are an LA based duo producing team, they produced the majority of the EP, well, all of it except for one song, the bonus, which is Comforting Ending, produced by No ID. And that, I like to say, is a glimpse into what the album will be like, because No ID produced majority of the tracks on that.
Yeah, I think you hit it on the head. No ID is definitely a person that stands for something, and not just in music, but his like cultural belief of just like when he stands on something, he really believes in something. I think that's a great place to be for you, and I'm really happy that worked out for you. Man, just had a great night tonight. Jhené Aiko's been hanging out the whole show, and thank you again for coming up. It really means a lot. You're from Los Angeles. I'm very happy to have you up here at the station, and it's awesome.
Thank you.
I was doing a little research on you before you came up here, because I was curious. You're when I listen to your music and stuff, it's edgy. Like, you're not scared to curse. You're not scared to, put stuff out there. Be very straightforward. But you carry a bit of soul about you that's very deep, and it's really beautiful as well. And then I read this article, and it was like, I don't know if it was bootleg or not, but it was saying like inspirations for you that you may have said in the past. Just want to confirm now. It said like Tupac, for example.
Yes.
And this is crazy, because like the list of people that I had for you, I was sitting there this morning going, this is like, if I had to make a list, this is like what I would do for myself.
Okay.
I mean, Sade, comparisons that you've had, but then like John Mayer.
Yeah.
I don't know if is this accurate? I don't
this
know where
is
I got
accurate.
This list.
This is all accurate.
I think that's really cool. I mean, you certainly take a lot of different genres in some of the stuff that I read. And I think that kind of comes through in your music as well. Jhené, thank you so much for coming up tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Really appreciate you. All right, thanks. Power 106, the Takeover Show.